Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use a contact cleaner and also explain why one needs to use it. Over here, I've got a variety of different electronic devices and all of these suffer from contact resistance. What is contact resistance? It's simply put, it's the resistance between contacts. So whether it's a circuit breakers also have contact resistance, a terminal block over there or over here. If I insert my wire here, there's now a contact resistance between the wire and the terminal. Now the contact resistance on certain devices may increase over time because of arcing. If you have a look at the contact on this relay, you can see that it's gotten black, it's got some carbon buildup, and that adds to the contact resistance. The contact resistance is the resistance between the two contacts. Over here I've got a limit switch and the contact resistance is quite high. I've then got this contact cleaner. There are many different types of contact cleaners. I'm just going to use this one and I'm going to show you how it reduces the contact resistance. I'm first going to measure the resistance between the contacts. Thereafter I'm going to show you how to apply the contact cleaner and then I'll show you the new resistance. Now before I measure the contact resistance, I need to know what the resistance of the leads are. So here are my leads from my multimeter, and at the moment you can see just the leads are adding about 1,5, 1,4 ohms. Now this multimeter allows me to press this button here called relative. So when I press it, it now zeroes the meter. So that means that I've now taken into consideration the resistance of the leads. Right, over here I've connected my leads to this limit switch. This is an old limit switch, and when I depress it, you can see that it is not going to 0 ohms. You can see it's got a contact resistance of about 39 ohms, which is very high for a limit switch. Right, now I've just opened the limit switch and I can see there's actually a bit of oxidation over there. So what I do is I just take my contact cleaner and just spray it just on the contacts like that. Then I operate it a little bit and then I just give another quick spray. Now when I operate the limit switch, you can see that the resistance is much lower. Look at that, 0.37. Now while I've reduced the contact resistance inside, don't forget there's still a contact resistance there and there. So by spraying that contact cleaner, what it does is it removes the oxidation and some of the dirt that is between the contact. It does dissolve some of the impurities. Now variable resistors often suffer from dirty contacts, and over here I've just opened a variable resistor to show you how I can clean the contact. Dirt and dust and even some oxidation takes place on the contacts by the tracks, and what it does is it increases the contact resistance or reduces the uniformity of the resistance value as you adjust the resistance. So for example, you can see these fingers are running on this carbon board, and what happens is dirt and debris get between the fingers and that often causes a crackling sound. So all I do is I take my little spray and I spray it there, and then I rotate this a few times. Now you don't necessarily have to take off the backing. You can also just spray the contact cleaner inside like that and it will also penetrate inside there. There I'm showing the contact cleaner is still getting access to those moving parts because of this little window here. Variable resistors like this, you can just spray it on the body over here. Now remote controls also suffer from this problem. If I show you, there's two little push button switches there, and what happens is moisture gets inside here and it also oxidizes. So all I need to do is spray the contact cleaner on the switches just like that, and then I just press them a few times and that will solve that problem. Switches also suffer from contact resistance. Over here I've opened a rocker switch or a latching switch, and inside I'm showing there's a contact there, and over there's the other side of the contact. This one is in fairly good condition, and if you have access to the contact itself, you can take a fine sandpaper and just gently smooth the dirt away. And there you can see I've cleaned the contact, and if you want to, you can even put a little bit of contact cleaner on it and then reinsert the contact into the switch. Make sure you leave this smooth, don't leave any burrs or harsh edges. Over here you can see that when I operate the switch, the contact resistance has reduced to almost 0. Relays also suffer from contact resistance, and all you need to do is spray the contact cleaner on the contact and that will clean the contact. If the carbon buildup is excessive, you can use about a 600 grit sandpaper just to smooth out any rough areas. Brand new terminal blocks like these have a lower contact resistance. You can see there is almost no oxidation on those terminals, while this older one, for example, is already showing oxidation on the screw. Push button switches like these also rely on contact. Often there's a space at the bottom where you can spray in the contact cleaner. The contact cleaner has seeped in between the gaps where the pins are. Then all I do is I press this many times. If that is not working, you can try and put some contact cleaner on the top, or you can actually open the switch. Contact cleaner is very useful in cleaning the little contacts on electronic devices. Switch cleaners are particularly useful on noisy volume control knobs. What I mean by that is when you're turning the knob, you often hear a crackling in the speakers. After using the switch cleaner, it will take that crackling away. Now you may be wondering whether you should clean away the excess liquid after spraying in the cleaner. My experience is you don't need to, but this does depend on the type of cleaner you use. Please read the instructions for your switch cleaner. The one that I use is Kontakt 60. It does not require the user to then clean the residue away. Most of these switch cleaners are actually alcohol based and they dry very quickly. Should you apply the switch cleaner when the power is on? Good practice is to only work with electronics when the power is off.